Hi, guys. Hi, friends and family on Facebook, all the UNN fans, friends and family. Banange, welcome to the news roundup for the 20th time. Banange, how is your week been? How have you guys been doing? My name is Sarah Nabz, and you are here on the weekly news roundup. We are here to talk about what has been going on in the news in our country this week in Uganda, in English, giving the opportunity for those who are not, who don't know Luganda, who don't understand Luganda, who but want to know what's going on and what's really been happening in our country. I mean, a lot of news is going on. Some of you could go to you could go one place. Some of you could go to MBS. Some of you could go on NTV. But thank God for social media, omuntu eyagitandika, into we can also come here and tell you what's been going on without anyone trying to bring us down and confusion and confused. Banange Museveni akola bingi. And by now, I think everybody should know and everybody should understand. Inti conquering, one of his biggest things is to divert us, is to bring diversion, is to bring disunity and overrule our country. Chenjagala abannayuganda abajja ku social media. Mbadde mbasaba, mbadde mbeegayiridde olunaku lwa leero. I've come with peace, I've come with love, I've come with joy. Can we please allow people to have their own opinions? Their own opinion. If somebody is doing a live or something on their page that you do not agree with, you have the right to unfollow and don't listen. And if you choose to listen, don't curse people out. Stop abusing people for having an opinion, ladies and gentlemen. I have to bring this back up again because throughout this week, as I've been on social media and I've been looking and listening to how people are responding to different news and different ideas and different strategies, that is not the narrative that everybody is following, they're getting abused. They're getting abused. They're getting threatened that they would, that we were going to fight you and we're going to fight all the way because the work that Bobby Wine has done. Can I just say something today? If nobody has not said it properly and clearly on UNN, UNN is here for a revolution. We have set up UNN to revolutionize our country, Uganda. A group of people who have started NUP party, a political party, alongside Bobby Wine. Thank you. We appreciate. They have fought themselves all the way to this, where we are at today in this revolution. They called it a struggle. We have been in the struggle. The struggle started 3 years ago. Mwebale nnyo. Mwena babadde mu struggle tuweebaza. Njagala tusooke ekyo tukijjewo. Nti we thank every single person who started the struggle. Who has been pushing the struggle, who has come on social media and thought and have become kings and queens of the struggle. Some of them have become even judges. Some people have even bought shares in this struggle. We thank you very much for all the work that you have done. And we thank you for continuing on that journey. But can I please just remind Ugandans, the struggle does not belong to a group of people in an NUP party. There are many Ugandans who are supporting other parties and they too want change. And they too need change. And they too are trying to fight for change. Stop judging someone based on what you're seeing on this social media. Social media is a liar from the pit of hell. When someone comes on their page, they're coming on to give you their own opinion about something, just like I'm doing right now. But when I speak news, I'm not giving you my opinion. Right now, I'm giving you my opinion as Sarah. And you all have the right to disagree. Musoke sharing a video because we need to, I need to speak something in English that maybe some people will be able to comprehend it a little bit more than if it's spoken in Luganda. Because Chimbugwe sits here every single day speaking in Luganda, trying to make people understand the difference between a blogger and a difference between setting up a whole media propaganda machine that is about to break down the lies and plots and exposure of the dictator that we are dealing with. Do people understand the magnitude in what we are dealing with here? Do people understand the magnitude in fighting a dictator? Do you think the wrangles on Facebook and social media are what going to remove him? Because he don't care. The people who are saying they are ready to fight for Chagulanyi, and we are going for Tugenda. We are going to be behind him and we are going to fight for him. He's already fought his battle. Let me tell Ugandans, for President Bobby Wine to become president of Uganda, he has a price to pay. That is his price. To be scrutinized, to be criticized, to be accountable, to be all those things that we need him to be, because you are a leader. You are a leader and you lead by example. You are a leader who has got to lead by example. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not want to create another dictator in Uganda. We are not going to support, anybody who thinks that we will support making another dictator. We love Bobby Wine. We love what he's done to date. We thank him. And if nobody has said it yet on UNN or Chimbugwe Live, Sarah Nabz has come to tell the world. We are appreciating you, Bobby Wine, and your team. We are appreciating the work that you have done to date. We are appreciating the fact that you went through tear gas and fighting and people dying and your team being kidnapped and the things that we saw with our two eyes. Because guess what? If it had not been for young men like Ashraf going on these campaign trails, we would have not seen these things. Bambi namwe mwetereze abana Uganda, put yourselves together and understand the difference between critically thinking, analyzing, and looking at a situation and looking at the different options that we've got at hand and trying to demoralize Ugandans. There is a group of Ugandans who are saying UNN are demoralizing people. What you same group do not realize, there is also a group who are saying, we want to know, we want to ask questions. What is really going on? What has been going on in Uganda? What is Bobby Wine doing exactly? How is he doing it? Why is he doing like this? Why hasn't he not come to us? There is a group of Ugandans who are saying, we don't want to be spectators. We've had that for 40 years. We now want to know and have questions. Ngabwe tugenda singa omusajja atudde mu ntebe nedda bannange tetwagala kubuuza musajja nga atudde mu ntebe nga it's too late okudealinga ne ba leaders be, because then we're going to have another dictator on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. We need to find transparency. Transparency is Bobby Wine coming and speaking to UNN. Bobby Wine going on the social medias of his choice, as Chimbugwe said the other day as well. He said, why don't you guys do NUP on Kampala, on the page of Kampala, and come on and talk to the masses every single day? Find a social media team that can run and break down any answers that the people of Uganda have. That's one of the reasons I fell in love with Bobby Wine. He was a transparent man. He was a man of integrity. He was being accountable. He was pulling up all the institutions and he's exposed each one of them. He deserves to be in the seat. He deserves to be president, even if it's just for the first 2 terms. May God give him that strength. But I want to remind Ugandans, there's a price that man has to pay. Stop babying president-elected Bobi Wine. He's not a baby. He's not a child. He's a grown man. And he understands the magnitude of the things that he's going through. He understands the magnitude of the things that he's answerable to. He truly understands. But the spirit of being emotionally unintelligent, my Ugandans, is what is going to kill Bobi Wine and the NUP party. I've said it. I've said it here. You Ugandans, you want that man to go in the seat? You need to stop the emotional outrages. You need to stop abusing people because people have an opinion. Because if you carry on like this, you are starting another government with no democracy. Can we ask ourselves, what is a democracy? What does the Constitution tell us about what our president or the government is responsible for, and what you as a Ugandan citizen has been called to say and do, and what your part should be in this revolution? Because I don't know about some of you, but I do not no longer want to be part of a revolution, a struggle. I want to be part of a revolution. And this revolution of Uganda is bigger than Bobi Wine. It's going to be bigger than NUP party. We cannot disrespect the work these people have done, and we never will disrespect the work that they have done. What we cannot do is not scrutinize their actions. What we will not do is not use assertiveness to put across the information that needs to be brought to the people of Uganda. That is what a media propaganda machine does. It brings an openness to give the freedom of speech to the people of Uganda. That is what UNN wanted to portray. We want you to be able to come here, whether you agree, whether you disagree, but you do it with poise, with integrity, with emotional intelligence. Let us disagree to agree. Let us agree to disagree with one another. But disrespecting one another, the way some of you have come this week on attacking this page, why can't you just cancel the page if you don't want to hear it? Why can't you just cancel it? If truly you truly believe in your soul and your spirits that Chimbugwe Live and UNN is trying to demoralize people, that means you're already demoralized. Omanyi, me and the ladies are always talking about the person of the inside. If truly I can come to you and give you questions about your husband when he could be cheating, and I'm your friend and I care about you, and I say to you, but my friend, are you sure this is what he's doing? Are you sure he did this? Maybe you should try it this way. That's not trying to demoralize my friend to go out and get a divorce. That's me trying to tell my friend that, listen, wake up, smell the coffee. Where changes need to be made, let's make them. That's why we have counselors. That's why we have mental health psychologists. That's why there's different people who support these kind of things. Please, Ugandans, as I begin the news for this week, I'm begging you tonight, from this day forth, let us handle ourselves with some integrity and some respect. We are not perfect. Stop putting people on pedestals. We are not perfect. Sarah Nabz is not perfect. Sarah Nabz will argue with people. Sarah Nabz might curse out people. Sarah Nabz might find a time where you catch her at the wrong hour and she's not the one to start an argument with. Many of you have been very upset because I've been getting many phone calls left, right, and center as to why Sarah Nabz said what she said in an audio. Many of you do not know what was the cause of that audio. And what you don't know is I have an audio as well. but I am more mature. I'm more mature. We don't need to go back and forth. I said what I said at the time, and I was angry, and we move on. But what's funny is Ugandans till today, something that happened 2 weeks ago, you judge people and you judge people that are trying to make a difference in this revolution. Let us give all each other some respect. Let us respect Bobby Wine in his capacity, but he's also not God. I also have the right to say, Bobby, what are you doing? What is that you're doing? I don't think that was the right action. That is my human right. That is what democracy is, ladies and gentlemen. That is democracy. That is democracy. People have the right to choose, to say no, to say yes. But one last thing before I start the news. UNN are not a political party. UNN are a group of Ugandan citizens in diaspora and in Uganda who have come together for a revolution and to revolutionize their country. We don't need to answer ourselves to the rest of this world. We don't need to answer ourselves to any Ugandan. We are not the ones who went and the people voted for us. Abantu tebatuvotingira. Temwatuvotinga okutandika UNN. So tewali kintu kyonna kye twetaaga okubeera accountable for. Mugamba nti tusaba abantu essente okuyamba abannayuganda. If I sit here and tell you the amount of money that my family and myself has given to NUP in UK and how we didn't get accountability. So let's not think that buli kimu kyonna kigenda kuba brought here. The same way as everybody says, Kyagulanyi tagenda kutubuulira buli kimu ku social media. Mwebale nnyo, ekyo nakyo tunekitutegeera. But there are some things that we have to pull up people on. Let's call a spade a spade. If we want a revolution and to revolutionize Uganda, let's speak things as they are. Let the truth prevail. Women, we are at the forefront. Era sitaani atukozesa nnyo. Era sitaani bw'aba agenda okumenya ekintu agenda kukozesa abakazi. Era sitaani bw'aba agenda kukozesa ekintu kyonna agenda kukozesa abakazi aba NUP oba whatever okwonoona ekintu kino. I'm begging you, women, let's pray. We need to go back to the foundation. We need to come out of gossip and get into facts and be professional in what we are doing. Thank you, guys. I needed to say this. And I know my producer's asking me what's going on, but I had to put this across in English because we've been spending the whole week and people come here, they fight, they send Chimbugwe messages, but people are human beings as well. And no, I'm not going to go out and demonstrate. No, I'm not. Because that is what you've been called to demonstrate. I've been called to come here before the people and speak and not stop speaking. And in my own right, I also have my own demonstrations in the pipeline. I've put demonstrations in the pipeline. And let me tell you this as I end this. Sarah Nabz was one of the people who started Uganda is Bleeding online demonstration. That demonstration is one of the biggest demonstrations we have had on social media. So do not think we just come here and talk and talk and talk and don't act. We act. We act. And we're going to continue to act. Whether you disagree in the strategies we take or not. That is the democracy of the world, of what we live in. Tuliba choi, tuliba dembe, okolawo. There is a body, omubiri guno, gulina omutwe, gulina hands, gulina legs, gulina arms. Do your part. Do your part, my fellow Ugandan. Thank you very much for listening to me. I will start right away and go with the first news. I'm literally going to fly through this today so that we can get straight to the point. Ladies and gentlemen, this week, Actually, last week I spoke to you about a lady and her son who was not happy about how the government treated her son and what they did to compensate this lady. Sorry, just bear with me as I bring up my report. But I share the videos to all your non-English friends. This is where it's important. The mother has sued the government over the son's death. As I told you last week, Hajara Nachito, her son Amos Segawa, aged 15, was shot on November the 19th, 2020, in the election protest. Amos was shot in the mouth and killed in November. Miss Nachito has taken on to sue the government over her son's death. She seeks compensation for the loss. She wants the court to order the government to compensate her unspecified amount of money. Miss Nachito alleges that she has approached the police in pursuit of compensation in vain. Thus, one of the officers reportedly advised her to go through the courts. Through her lawyers, Nachito wants courts to rule that her son's death was unlawful and the court should be ordered to compensate her for the damages as well as her legal costs. As a team at UNN, we feel your pain, Mrs. Nachito, the pain of losing a child and the pain of trying to just get justice for your son. We dare the High Court of Uganda to rule in your favor. Story number 2. What a sad story, but hopefully she will get justice. Looting by the Ugandans Museveni. Uganda. Mr. Museveni is at it again, ladies and gentlemen. The Democratic Republic of Congo has reopened a case against Uganda again. This case was due to judges at the International Court of Justice at Hague. The case was through a Zoom call. After more than a decade of failed negotiations on the amount of Uganda is to pay Congo for looting her natural resources, DRC has asked Uganda to pay $322 million for damages caused by its troops during the Congo invasion between 1997 and 2003, which led to the death of 4 million victims. This reparation is part of the $4.3 billion compensation that Congo is demanding from Uganda, nearly half of the $10 billion that was demanded in 2005, guys. DRC Congo has gone back to the International Court of Justice and they are demanding their money and taking Uganda back to court. They are now demanding $4 billion. Banang, that's madness. That's just madness. Let's move on. That is the news. That is the news for this week, Ugandans. That is the Uganda. That is what Museveni is putting us through. Moving on. Your future is secured with toilet loans. I found this very funny. By the way, now I'm getting news in Jifuna on this Friday, and I read it, and I'm also getting most of this news the same time as you. So when I'm reading this, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what is this? But your future is secured with a toilet loan, apparently. Masaka households acquire toilet loans to improve sanitation. Although Uganda's national latrine coverage stands at 80% in 2019, most of these latrines still do not meet the acquired minimum standards. The loans range from 200,000 shillings to a max of 2.5 million. While people and businesses around acquire loans to invest in business ventures that they're capable of, here in Uganda, we are borrowing people money to build toilets. That's our country. The least the junta that you can do has done to reduce the self-worth of our Ugandan people. The least that we could have done is do toilets. We're also getting loans to do a toilet. Ugandans, rise up. We need to remove these leaders. If I show you, I wish you could see my screen. What one of the writers wrote. I'm telling you, Listen, God help, God have mercy on us, manage, dictator na agenda D. Oh, our next. Goodbye to another African dictator. Should we be happy? Should we be sad? How should we exactly react to this? How should we react to this? Some people are happy, some people are sad. I would say that I am 50-50 because men like this, I don't want them to die like this. I want these men to be alive so that they can be reprimanded. I feel he's got it the easy, that's his easy way out. Wouldn't you love to see Museveni on handcuffs? Museveni in jail? Like a picture of him behind a jail? Like I envision seeing all these men who were doing. Wouldn't you like to see these men in Chitalia? That's what I want to see. I don't want them dead just yet. I don't want them dead. I want them alive. I want them to see the new Uganda. I want them to see the revolution. Chad President Idris Deby died on Wednesday from injuries inflicted on him by the rebels. Deby is said to have been injured on Saturday while visiting the Chadian military, fighting to a halt a rebel advancement to the country's capital from the neighboring Libya. Deby, 68, was re-elected on Monday, the 19th of April, through rigged elections as per provisional results. He was set to extend his 30-year rule. His son, General Mahamat Kaka, has been named interim head of state, according to Chadian army spokesman General Azem Bamando Agoana. A funeral service of dictator Deby has been held this Friday. I think that happened today. President of France, among heads of states who flew in to attend the funeral. Dear God, please help Ugandans remove our dictator. Dear God, we need you to do something, just something. Tuweyo kasaini akatono to no. Akatulaga light at the end of the tunnel. Banage. Era as we continue, Banage. Let's go on to the next story. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ugandan budget. 41.2 trillion Ugandan shillings for 2021-22 Ugandan budget. The Ministry of Finance, Matia Kasaija, tables its 4.2 trillion less than last year's budget. According to the proposed budget tabled before Parliament Budget Committee, sharply contradicts the key targets in third national development plans, a policy document that gives strategic direction to the country's development agenda. They said they were going to target about our national development. Na yes, centers zigenze mubirala era. In this proposed budget, governance again and security has the highest share of the budget and will take the lion's share with 7.7 trillion. Uganda. Followed by human capital development, which covers education and high-level training at 6.8 trillion. Integrated transport infrastructure and services will only take 3.9 trillion. Agro-industrialization will take 1.4 trillion shillings. Regional development is at 1.7. And then there's a proposal of 404 billion to finance the newly conceptualized parish development model, where each parish in the country will be allocated 38 million shillings annually. What? And what is this? The parish fund shall replace the Youth Livelihood Fund, operational wealth creation, women entrepreneurship programs, fused into a new poverty alleviation program. in the coming budget, security is more important than anything else in Uganda. I'm moving on. There's no point of even talking about it, to be honest with you, Ugandans. Already to money what the Ugandan, how the budget works, who puts the budget together, how they put the budget together. And it is so sad that this is our country. Okubanga era tebanaba kuyiga anything else. Kwegamba tunava mu kintu kino di. Mukama tugenda kuva mu kintu kino di. That's why UNN is fighting day and night to bring exposure, to bring knowledge, to bring transparency, to bring accountability, so that that we can change it, and we change it quickly. Then we say, okay, fine. That means if he goes and swears in, guys, Ugandans, stop trying to pretend. If this happens, we are now having to wait until the next election. If that's the case, can Ugandans, can the NUP party just let us know, ladies and gentlemen, that we have decided that it's not going to be now. We are going to fight for the next election. Let us put ourselves together. Let us be real about where we are, so that we know what to do, so that if we need to go back to the drawing board, we go back to the drawing board. If we need to put new people together, then let it be so. If new members need to be put in place, let it be so. But let us be transparent, because Uganda is bleeding. We cannot be spectators. We are watching this, guys, spectating a budget of 41 trillion Ugandan shillings. But the roads are still horrible. The hospital is still down the drain. The housing is horrible. Welfare is horrible. People have no jobs. Transport is horrible. Ugandans. Oh. Last but not least, Uganda ranked worse in rule of law and justice. Uganda is the worst country in East Africa region in terms of not adhering to justice and rule of law, a new report has indicated. Report titles the World Justice Project Rule of Law Index 2020 ranks Uganda at number 117 globally out of 128 countries. Report shows that Uganda has dropped in the observance of justice and rule of law by 2 positions from the previous ranking, making Uganda the worst performing country in the East African region. Do you actually understand some of these statistics? Why do we want to have a country and be in a country that does not have no respect for law and justice of the people who are living in it? Why do you want to have a government who thinks that power and ruling over the poor and the sick and the everyday people is the right way? I'll leave this with you, Ugandans. For God and my beloved country, Uganda, how did Ugandans get here? How have you got here? How have you got here, Ugandans? How have we got here? Mwebale nnyo. We thank you so much for those of you who have listened to me today. You know, it is our usual. We have a show straight after me coming up right now. We are even already late. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a show. It's called Get Off the Hook. That's what's coming up next. Get Off the Hook. Eyo surprise. Egena kujja kimugo agenda kugibanyumiza naye temuvaawo, mugende mufuneyo ka drink, mugende mwetereeze, mukomewo, mwetegeke show ya leero. Naye mujjukire ebigambo bye mbagambye. For God and your country. How has Ugandans got here? And how are Ugandans going to get into new Uganda? Thank you very much. I love you guys so much. I'll always I have to be here for the sake of my country, even when I don't want to be. I have to be. Because we are workers, we are business owners, but we must come. We must come for God and my country. Eranze Sarah. It's for God and my country, for God and my people. That is why Sarah pushes and fights for her country. I'm not a politician and I don't want to be. I just am a human being, a Ugandan woman who wants change for the future of my country. And I pray that you do too. Join me in prayer. You're going to see me more coming here on Chimbugwe Live, praying with those women who want to join me in prayer. Let us pray. Let us be strong. Let us see things as they are, but not think that everything that you see is as it seems. May God bless you. I'll see you next week here on Chimbugwe Live with Sarah Nabz on the weekly Roundup. I'll see you next week, and thank you very much. God bless you.